The Shoreline Transportation Master Plan update is kicking off Outreach Series 3 with 3 short informational videos and a survey. The city would like your feedback on draft plans for various travel modes like auto, transit, pedestrian, and bicycle, and criteria for prioritizing draft transportation projects. This video provides a summary of what we heard from the community in Outreach Series 2. Please watch the other 2 short videos about the draft plans and the process for prioritizing projects. First, let's begin with an explanation of what is the Transportation Master Plan, which I'll be referring to as the TMP throughout this presentation. The TMP is a long-range plan for all forms of travel within Shoreline, including by foot, bicycle, skateboard, scooter, stroller, wheelchair, transit, motorcycle, and automobile. The TMP update will guide investments in existing and new transportation infrastructure and programs over the next 20 years. In fall 2020, the city launched a multi-year process to update the TMP with the goal of adoption by the end of 2022. There have been 2 opportunities to give feedback so far. We are currently in Outreach Series 3, and your input will help us shape the draft plan. To date, the project team has assessed existing conditions, conducted 2 rounds of public outreach, developed the TMP vision and goals, draft modal plans, and a process for prioritizing projects. Now, we want to hear from you if we got it right. The TMP will identify a list of transportation projects to implement over the next 20+ years that include all travel modes such as walking, biking, driving, and taking transit. However, the city has limited resources and can only accomplish so much. Therefore, we developed prioritization criteria to score how well each project idea meets the TMP goals. We'd like your feedback on the prioritization criteria and if there's something we're missing. We will come back to you in a few months with the draft TMP and prioritized project list based on these criteria. As background to the work the TMP team is currently conducting, I will share a quick summary of public feedback received during Outreach Series 2 on various modes of travel. You can view detailed summary reports from Outreach Series 1 and 2 on the TMP webpage at shorelinewa.gov/TMP. The sidewalk network established in the Sidewalk Prioritization Plan is a key component of the draft pedestrian plan, but not the only component. To develop a vision for a comprehensive pedestrian network, the survey asked where improved or new pedestrian roadway crossings and pathways through unimproved right-of-way might complement the sidewalk network. The survey results on where participants would like to see new or enhanced crossings showed a crossing on Richmond Beach Road between 3rd and 8th Avenue Northwest as having the most mentions. Many survey participants identified North 155th Street as needing more frequent crossings. Other popular survey requests were for safer, more visible crossings at Twin Ponds and Paramount Parks, as they reported that drivers tend not to see pedestrians at these locations. Safe crossings in the Ridgecrest Business District, near Cromwell Park, along the northern portion of 15th Avenue Northeast, at I-5 interchanges, and to Meridian Park Elementary School were some of the other areas that received many submittals. The survey asked participants to list locations where they would like to see new or enhanced pathways through unimproved right-of-way, which are city-owned parcels that sometimes have informal paths running through them. The location mentioned most often with 19 submittals is an informal pathway through unimproved right-of-way at 185th Street and 14th Avenue Northeast to Northeast 184th Place and 15th Avenue Place Northeast. This pathway connects North City neighbors to 15th Avenue Northeast and the Business District, allowing an alternative to traversing a busy stretch of 15th Avenue Northeast with no sidewalk. 6 other locations were mentioned 5 to 9 times. These include 2 connections between Ashworth Avenue and Densmore Avenue, one at North 157th Street, the other at North 165th Street, 2 connections along 195th Street at approximately 10th to 11th Avenue Northeast and 14th to 15th Avenue Northeast. Near Shoreline Center off 190th Street, between Corliss Avenue North and 1st Avenue North, and King's School at Greenwood Place North, south of North 200th Street. The survey asked several questions to help inform the development of the city's bicycle network. Survey takers were asked to list up to 3 roadways on which they would want to be more comfortable bicycling on. Responses included both intersections and stretches of roadway. This map shows corridors most often mentioned as red dashed lines and intersections as red circles. Pink dashed lines indicate corridors mentioned at least 5 times. By far, people stated they would feel most comfortable with bicycle facilities physically separated from motor vehicles. For the auto network, the survey asked to list up to 3 intersections most important for maintaining reasonable traffic flow. There were over 1,600 entries for this question. The map shows those intersections with over 100 mentions in red and 50 to 100 mentions in orange. Lesser mentions are the green and then the blue circles. The intersection mentioned most often, 166 times, is pretty much the geographical center of Shoreline at Meridian and 175th Street. Overall, the survey results showed that participants are very interested in keeping traffic moving on the city's major corridors. The survey asked if people currently take transit or may be interested in taking transit in the future. 80% responded positively. The survey also asked participants to choose their top 3 concerns that impact their transit experience and decision to use or not to use transit. The top 3 choices reflect time, convenience, and reliability. The next 2 top choices were related to personal safety. Over 20% of the survey responses also listed proximity to a bus stop and cleanliness of buses and light rail cars as top concerns. The comments in the other category mostly fit broadly within the choices offered, with some expanded or specific detail. On-demand transit allows a person to request to be picked up by a smaller vehicle at their point of origin using a mobile app, a website, or a phone, and be taken to either their final destination or a transit stop. This can be an effective tool to increasing transit ridership. The survey asked what factors would influence using on-demand transit. The results indicate that several factors appear as crucial, with the most popular factor being ease of making a reservation. The other comments included things like personal safety, cargo space, direct access to light rail, driver training and background checks, and being more affordable than Uber or Lyft. We are incredibly appreciative for all the valuable feedback that the community has provided to date. This feedback is fundamental to the development of the TMP, including the creation of draft modal plans for walking, biking, taking transit, accessing shared use mobility hubs, and driving, and the development of prioritization criteria that will help us identify which projects are most important to implement in the near term. Now we want to hear from you if we got it right. Please take the online survey available at shorelinewa.gov/TMP. This summer, we will conduct another outreach series to get your feedback on draft TMP projects, policies, and programs. We thank you for your time and hope you stay involved. Please visit the TMP webpage at shorelinewa.gov/TMP and sign up for email updates at Alert Shorelines by selecting Transportation Projects and Planning. If you have any questions, please contact Nora Daly Peng, Project Manager, at eddailypeng, that is NDALEYPENG, at shorelinewa.gov. Thank you.